Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss Biographia Literaria by S.T Coleridge. So let's start the video. So what is Biographia Literaria and what is the aim of Biographia Literaria? Biographia Literaria is an autobiography by S.T Coleridge published in 2 volumes in 1817. Another edition of the work was published in 1847. It is not a straightforward and linear autobiography. He distinguished his poems with Wordsworth as published in Lyrical, Ballads 1798. Biographia Literaria was the most important work of literary criticism of the English Romantic period, combining philosophy and literary criticism in a new way, and it was lastingly influential. Fancy and imagination. In chapter 4, Coleridge talks about fancy and imagination. Fancy and imagination are two distinct and widely different faculties. They come from respectively the Greek fantasia and the Latin imaginatio. Fancy is a mechanical process but not creative and inferior to imagination. It deals with things that have fixities and definities, whereas imagination dissolves, diffuses, and dissipates in order to create plastic shaping into one. So, what is the meaning of plastic? Means shaping into one. Whereas, according to Coleridge, fancy is a mechanical process but not creative. Fancy is not creative and it is inferior, low than imagination, whereas imagination dissolves, diffuses, and dissipates in order to create and shape into one, that is plastic. So the next is primary and secondary imagination. Coleridge divides imagination into two parts in chapter 13, the primary and the secondary imagination. As the living power and prime agent, the primary imagination is attributed a divine quality, namely the creation of self. The poet has no control over the primary imagination. The secondary imagination is an echo of the primary. It is a voluntary action and requires a lot of effort. Coleridge also adds fancy in his description of the imagination. According to his philosophy, fancy is even lower than the secondary imagination. Fancy is the source of our baser desires. Baser desires means ignorable desires. So imagination is divided into two parts, primary and secondary, and according to Coleridge, fancy is even lower than secondary imagination. So the next is two cardinal points. In Biographia Literaria, Coleridge has described two cardinal points. The first cardinal point was dealt by Wordsworth's poetry and poems, while the other was dealt by his. One is nature and other is imagination. Wordsworth writes poems based on nature and its objects which were found everywhere. But according to Coleridge, natural, simple and rustic object does not put our poetic personality effectively. By this example, he points out Wordsworth in the first cardinal point. In the second type of poetry, the incidents and agents were to be supernatural. In Lyrical Ballads, the idea was to create two sets of poems, one giving importance to nature and other giving importance to supernatural and imagination. So the two cardinal points according to Coleridge, one is Wordsworth and other is his poetries. So the first poetry is about nature and the other is imagination. So according to him, Lyrical Ballad was actually about to create two sets of poems, one giving importance to nature and the other giving importance to supernatural and imagination. Thus, by talking about two cardinal points in Biographia Literaria, Coleridge points out the nature of Wordsworth and his poetry. The main aim of Biographia Literaria is to show the reality of poems and poets. The work was originally intended as a preface to a collected volume of his poems, explaining and justifying his own style and practice in poetry. So this is the overview of the Biographia Literaria. I hope you understood. And if you like the video, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any doubt, please comment on the comment section. Thank you.